Have you ever wondered what would happen if your favorite video games came to life? Not just on your screen, but right outside your window, larger than life and ready to play for keeps. The movie Pixels imagines just that. It starts way back in the 1980s, a golden age for arcades. A young boy named Sam Brenner was a champion at these games. He knew every pattern, every trick, and every secret level. He and his friends were so good that a recording of them playing was put into a special time capsule. This capsule wasn't buried in the ground. It was launched into space by NASA, a message in a bottle for any intelligent life out there in the vast starry ocean of the universe. The idea was simple and full of hope. NASA wanted to show other beings what life on Earth was like. They included our music, our art, and yes, our video games. They thought it was a perfect way to say hello and share a piece of our culture. The capsule contained footage of classic games like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Centipede, and Galaga. To the people who sent it, it was just a friendly greeting. They never imagined that someone or something would see these games not as a form of entertainment, but as a declaration of war. It was a message that would travel for decades through the cold, silent darkness of space, waiting to be found. This space-bound message is the key to the whole story. It's like sending a letter to a pen pal you've never met. You might send them a drawing of a superhero thinking it's a cool picture. But what if your pen pal thinks it's a drawing of a real monster you plan to send to their house? That's the kind of mix-up that happens in this movie, but on a much, much bigger scale. The friendly hello from Earth, filled with pixelated characters and high scores, was about to get a very unexpected and destructive reply, turning a message of peace into the beginning of a galactic conflict nobody saw coming. Remember, this is where the magic of storytelling comes in. The idea of a time capsule being sent to space is real. NASA has done things like this, but the part where aliens find it and misunderstand our video games is pure imagination. It's a fun what-if scenario that sets the stage for an adventure. It takes something real, like old arcade games, and mixes it with something fantastic like an alien invasion, creating a world where knowing how to beat Donkey Kong is the most important skill you can have. This is the foundation for a story where childhood hobbies become the key to saving the world. Years later, in our present day of 2025, the universe decided to answer Earth's message. An alien race discovered the time capsule. They watched the videos of our games, but they didn't see fun or entertainment. Instead, they saw a challenge, a threat. When they watched footage of characters like the aliens from Space Invaders being blasted by a laser cannon, they interpreted it as a declaration of war from the human race. They believed Earth was telling them, "This is how we will fight you." So they decided to attack first, but they did it in a very peculiar way. They decided to fight us using our own weapons. The aliens, being incredibly advanced, had technology that could turn light and energy into solid matter. They used this power to bring the video game characters from the time capsule footage to life. Suddenly, giant, glowing, pixelated versions of Centipede were burrowing through cities, and the ships from Galaga were swooping down from the sky, firing energy blasts. These weren't just projections, they were real, tangible threats that could turn cars, buildings, and people into glowing cubes of light. The world's armies were powerless. Their missiles and military tactics were useless against enemies that followed simple 8-bit video game rules. It's very important to understand that this is all make-believe. In the real world, aliens have not contacted us, and our video games have not come to life. The science in the movie is what we call science fiction. It uses a small piece of a real idea, like sending messages into space, and then builds a whole new impossible story around it. It's a creative way to explore an idea, not a documentary about what could actually happen. So, while it's fun to imagine a giant Pac-Man chomping through city streets, you can rest easy knowing it's just the product of a writer's imagination, designed to create an exciting and funny adventure for the audience. This misunderstanding is the heart of the conflict. The aliens weren't necessarily evil, they were just responding to what they thought was a challenge. They created a real-life video game tournament where Earth was the playing field, and if we lost 3 rounds, it was game over for the entire planet. Humanity needed a new kind of hero, not a soldier with a gun, but someone who knew the patterns. They needed someone who had spent countless hours in a dark arcade. Someone who knew exactly how to defeat these digital monsters, because they had done it 1,000 times before on a screen. With the world on the brink of destruction, the President of the United States realizes he needs a different kind of expert. He calls upon his childhood best friend, Sam Brenner, who is now an adult working a regular job installing home entertainment systems. Sam, along with his old arcade buddies, is recruited to fight the aliens. These friends, once known as the Arc-Busters, are humanity's last hope. They aren't soldiers or scientists, they are gamers. Their unique skill isn't strength or bravery in the traditional sense, but their deep knowledge of the classic games that are now attacking them. They are the only ones who understand the rules of this strange war. Their first real battle is against a giant descending centipede. The military tries to shoot it down with helicopters and machine guns, but nothing works. Sam and his friend Ludlow know that's not how you beat the game. They explain that you have to shoot the centipede's head. Every time you hit its head, it moves faster, and a piece of its body turns into a mushroom-like obstacle. The soldiers are confused, but the gamers know exactly what to do. They use special light cannons designed to mimic the weapons from the arcade games, aiming carefully and following the patterns they memorized as kids. It's a perfect example of how their old hobby has become the most valuable skill on the planet. The battles continue, each one a different game from the 1980s. They face off against the barrel-throwing Donkey Kong and the diving spaceships of Galaga. In each case, the heroes, now officially called the Arcaders, have to use their wits and their memory of the game's patterns to win. It's not about being the strongest, it's about being the smartest player. They have to think like they are standing in front of an arcade cabinet with the fate of the world resting on their ability to get the high score. Their journey shows that sometimes the things you are passionate about as a kid can become your greatest strengths later in life. One of the most exciting and challenging battles is against the legendary Pac-Man. The aliens unleash a giant glowing yellow Pac-Man into the streets of New York City. He's not the friendly character we know, he's a destructive force, chomping through everything in his path. To fight him, the Arcaders are given 4 small cars, each painted a different color, just like the ghosts from the game Inky, Blinky, Pinky and Clyde. Their mission is to chase Pac-Man and hit him 3 times. But there's a catch. Just like in the game, Pac-Man can eat a power pellet and turn the tables, making him able to chase and eat them. The Pac-Man scene is a masterclass in timing and strategy. The creator of Pac-Man, Professor Iwatani, tries to reason with his creation, telling him, "I am your father." But this giant Pac-Man isn't interested in talking. He chomps the professor's hand, turning it into pixels, and continues his rampage. Sam Brenner knows that to beat him, they have to use perfect timing, just like in the arcade. He remembers a pattern, a secret trick that allows a player to stay safe for a few seconds in a certain spot. But the aliens know this too, and they change the rules. Pac-Man's speed increases after each hit, making the chase harder and harder. This is where counting becomes critical. When Pac-Man eats a power pellet, the ghosts have only a few seconds to run away before he can eat them. Ludlow, one of the Arcaders, starts counting down the seconds out loud. 10, 9, 8. This creates incredible tension. The drivers have to swerve through city streets, avoid traffic, and keep an eye on Pac-Man, all while knowing that their time is running out. It shows that winning isn't just about knowing the rules, it's about executing the strategy under immense pressure. They have to work as a team, using their cars to corner Pac-Man while avoiding his powerful chomp. After surviving several rounds, the Arcaders face the final boss battle in Washington, D.C. The alien mothership descends, unleashing an army of every video game character they've faced. It's an all-out assault, with Donkey Kong himself as the final challenge. Sam has to climb a massive real-life version of the game's construction site, dodging giant barrels thrown by the angry ape to save the world. He uses all the skills he learned as a kid, timing his jumps, predicting the barrel's path to reach the top. It's the ultimate test, a final level where he has to face the one game he could never beat as a child. In the end, by working together and embracing the skills that once made them feel like outsiders, the Arcaders save the world. The movie Pixels is more than just a funny story about games coming to life. It carries a wonderful message. Never be ashamed of what you love. The passions and hobbies you have as a kid, whether it's video games, reading myths, or building models, might just give you the unique skills you need to solve problems as an adult. It teaches us that everyone has something special to offer, and sometimes the unlikeliest heroes are the ones who are best prepared to save the day. Game on.